Take a look at the Snapple Fruit Punch. 16 fluid ounce, 473 milliliters. And then the nutrition facts again. So 2 servings per container. We've got either 100 or 190 calories. So the servings are exact, clearly. And then we've got 24 or 48 grams of total carbohydrates. Of that, the added sugars, which would be the actual sugar instead of the juice, is 21 grams or 42 grams in total. And then 30 or 55 milligrams of potassium. So clearly the sizing isn't quite exact, or at least the measurements on here. Kind of odd. Then for the ingredients, filtered water, sugar, apple, pear, and grape juice concentrates, citric acid, and natural flavors. Pretty simple ingredients. I would assume the citric acid mostly is kind of like a stabilizer, but it will add some tartness to the drink. Most likely, depending on how much is in there. Let's see if they have the Snapple facts on the cap like they used to. I remember the Snapples that were glass. Those were pretty nice. It's kind of hard to read. The pupils in goat's eyes are rectangular. It's a pretty deep red color. Is there any coloring in here? No. So this is naturally colored. That's nice. So that's what it looks like. It's a very rich color. I would assume it said pear, apple, and grape. So this must basically just be the color of grapes. It doesn't mention it in the ingredients list of anything else. Looks pretty cool. There we go. Let's see what it smells like. Yeah, definitely sweet smell to it. Smells nice. Does have that classic fruit punch smell. All right, let's try it out again. This is the Snapple Fruit Punch. It shows on the label here, it shows pineapple and orange, but those are not in here as juices, so they just must be quote unquote natural flavors added. Yeah. Anyways, let's try it out. Very sweet. It's kind of a thick liquid. There is a little bit of tartness to it. But it's also smooth. To me, it's just very sweet tasting. 48 grams of total carbohydrates, of that 42 grams of sugar for the bottle. It's basically like a pop in the amount of sugar, I think. But that would be a 12 ounce and a 16 ounce. So maybe it has slightly less sugar than a soda pop, a traditional soda pop type thing. And then you're at least getting some sort of juice in the package. Rather than just like random whatever's in a soda pop. There is very slight bitterness to it, some tartness. I think it just generally tastes good. It tastes fine. It tastes like fruit punch. No surprise. One of the basics. Uh, yeah. I'm just not amazingly thrilled with how much sugar it has, but that is what it is. You could prefer something like this over having all of those sugar substitutes, which I've been drinking a lot of drinks with the sucralose, aspartame potassium, monk fruit, stevia, all that stuff. So you don't have to deal with it with this. You just get sugar, you know, and I think that's fine. It's not insane with the amount of calories, but it is pretty up there. 190 for the bottle. So if you are counting calories, this is obviously not the type of thing you want to go for. But if you're not, it's a pleasant drink. Tastes good. Fruit punch, classic flavors, and there is some actual juice in it. It's not just all natural flavors, even though some of the fruits they show on here are not as a juice. They're flavoring, I guess, unless they just wanted to put it on the label without actually putting it in the product. But let me see if I can actually taste an orange or a pineapple. I taste the grape for sure. Apple. Yeah, grape and apple are the most prominent to me. I think I do taste some orange. So there isn't any actual orange, but they probably have a fair amount of flavoring to mimic that. There is pear juice. I can see pear being in here as well. Yeah. But really, the grape and the apple are the ones that I notice the most with the flavoring. And they're actually in here as a juice. Anyways, I think it's pretty nice, pretty basic. So if you're okay with the calorie counts and such, classic to enjoy. So that's the Snapple Fruit Punch.